council meeting minutes for the 15th of January.
Motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. All in favor, raise your hand.
Need 7 to abstain. Gonna be
Okay.
7, 6.
Got him?
Yes, sir. 7.
Mr. Mayor, you're up, sir.
Well, I appreciate it. Boy, we got a lot of quality tonight, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Must be a packed full agenda for us. We've got our community heroes tonight, a new January winner, and we got a new face. Brad Zamanek is the sports editor, is with us tonight, and he's here to present a community hero, which I've got to tell you, I didn't vote, I didn't have anything to do with it, but I'm interested to meet him. And Brad, if you would come and share with us the good news.
Like I said, I'm Brad Zamanek. I'm the sports editor at the Montgomery Advertiser, and I did want to also recognize Cole Portis from Beasley Allen for helping us to be able to tell these stories with the community heroes. It was in December when I got a call from Paul Payne, and Paul Payne used to work for Merrill Lynch in Montgomery for many years, and he's written for us at the newspaper, and he was in Chattanooga, and he told me, he says he has this story, and the story that he told me was too good just to be a story. And looking back over the last decade, and you see with tomorrow even being National Signing Day, all the recruits that we have coming out of Montgomery that are major college recruits, and the vast majority of them have come through the Madhouse training program that started by Todd Dowell and with Chris and Tracy Varner. This month actually marks the 10th year that I've been doing prison ministry at State and Correctional in Elmore County. And over the course of those 10 years, I come across numerous Montgomery individuals. One of the things I do in this study is it's called the Resolution for Men book, and it helps men become Christian men, husbands, and fathers. In my class this last week, a guy from Montgomery stood up and we asked him, he said, when did you become a man? And he said he's age 36, and he said, I didn't become a man till I read this book, and now I know what I'm supposed to do. What Todd is doing with this program is it is helping them succeed before they get to that point, to succeed spiritually, academically, and athletically. We've watched Mac Wilson for years at Carver and at the University of Alabama. And he'll be representing Montgomery at the NFL Combine in Indianapolis in a few weeks. There's a good possibility that he's could be a first-round draft pick in the NFL draft in Nashville in April. And this is what his mom said about the program. Sandra Wilson, they saved my baby from the streets. If it wasn't for them, who knows where Mac would be? I tried the best I could. I was his #1 fan, and he played sports. But sometimes if you ain't got that male role model to get onto them, they never learn. Those men were like fathers to make sure Mac stayed on the right path and reached his potential mentally and spiritually too. They molded him and gave him a picture of what life on this side could look like, and for him to realize the other path just led to a terrible outcome. I'm a living witness to the hope they brought my family. And with that, I would like to recognize Todd Dowell as Montgomery's January Community Hero.
Everything he said, is true. We've been doing it for about 16 years. I work with the city, with the Parks and Rec, and that's why I started coaching down at Carver. But I'm from Georgia, from LaGrange, and what happened was when we started the kids after that 9th grade year, they just started dropping out. They wouldn't even make it to the 10th grade year of the high school. And that's just when the Lord put them in to do something. And that's where the name comes from, Make a Difference. And the Madhouse comes from, that's brilliant for the Make a Difference. And we do more than the training. The majority of what we do is the mentoring part of it. And that is being in those kids' lives. We try not to have no more than 20 kids. because we do so much one-on-one with them. We basically gonna see them at least 3 times a week. They call us on the hour. Like for the recruiting process, majority of our kids are football players. We do have some basketball and track, but the one-on-one, the mentoring is what we do, and that's what we base everything off of. Because at the end of the day, like I said in the article they did on us, especially a young black male, they really crave that they can see another male figure in their life that truly care. At the end of the day, if you care, they're gonna do whatever you ask them to do. So that's the easy part, you know, showing that you care and what they're about and what they the future that they could have. And so thank y'all for the award. But like you said, Chris Vaughn and Tyrone Vaughn are the 2 other ones that helped me, so I don't do it by myself. And thank y'all again for the award.
Great name, great role model. You're correct. We need more of you and more of your associates to have people that they can look up to and emulate and be a success. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all our citizens and the advertiser and Beasley Allen for making this special recognition, and congratulations to you. Let's get a picture.
Okay.
Good. Right, yeah. Glenn's not here, we don't have to worry about getting him.
Thank you. See you. Doing all right? Good to see you. Good to see you.
We have put together a video of 2 events that we had last week. One was our Star Watch program that is a network of cameras that we have around the city that's put into a Star Center that we've unveiled last Friday. We've been kind of getting it ready for the last month or so, and it's going to be a force multiplier. It's going to be a crime fighter. We call it the digital patrol, because rather than having an officer standing right there on the corner and only seeing 4 corners, we got 30,000+ cameras that we can have access to in real time to do that. And the other is our recycling program. Several years to get back in, and Barry Crabb and Chris Conway and Mac McLeod get a lot of credit for waving through 30 or so proposals that we had and then bringing it down to 2 and making this selection. What I'll say about this one versus the last one is, this one is really dependent upon refuse-derived fuel. That's the $8 to $10 million of equipment that was put in there to be able to get that to replace some coal burning facilities in the concrete industry and others. So with that, if we could run the video, I think you'll find both of these informational and exciting for our city, because it talks about just the smart city applications.
Mayor, made me feel real good. You saw
Today,
golf tournament on
we're
Sunday
here
afternoon.
to talk about
Waste Management.
how we are
Get a
going
picture
through.
of their warehouse like ours.
Good.
Through Star Watch, work smarter, more efficient in fighting crime, solving crime, and making Montgomery a safer community. Now, Star Watch is a way that we get force multiplier. I even did a little extrapolation, and I think that this center takes the place of 50 officers just right off the bat, because it's a time saver, it's instant access to what's going on.
This is a partnership that we have with businesses, with the schools, with even private citizens throughout the city of Montgomery. There's tens of thousands of cameras throughout the city, but rarely are they interconnected or available in an immediate fashion. This program allows a police department to work with community leaders to use the technology that's already in place to help us fight crime.
We really believe this is going to really increase officer safety. It's going to make sure our officers know more information as they're going from call to call. It's going to take officers' time off the street, where the center has the access to technology, and the more partnerships we get with businesses and neighborhood associations and things like that, we're able to share that video evidence with our detectives and keep them from spending hours out scouring neighborhoods and scouring locations just to find this evidence. We're going to try and get it beforehand and have those prearranged agreements with our community leaders so that we can actually help them solve crime.
If there is something going on at my office, the police officers will have a description of what's going on before they walk into a situation. I think it's safer for them, and it's probably going to be safer for everyone.
I'd like us to think conceptually for a minute about what this means. If you think about years and years ago, if you were doing a term paper for school, you went to the library, you found the card catalog, you pulled out the card, you tried to find out where it was in the Reader's Guide to Periodical Literature, or you tried to find the actual book on the shelf, and it took hours and hours to look up just one or two things. With the access to the internet today, it's one push button and you get gobs and gobs of information. This is our one-button internet access. If you look behind me at every one of these pictures, you can conceive a police officer looking at that site. And that's what we want to do. We want to hook up all cameras. So what I want to say to the businesses, and what I want to say to everyone out there, if you have a camera, we want you.
Really not one issue that I get asked more about than it is, why are we not in the recycling business? And you have to go through the explanation. We don't have to do that anymore because we are, in fact, in the recycling business. We are, in fact, green. One of the things you see behind us is about $8 or $10 million of new investment that make this different from what it was the first time.
Mayor Todd Strange, thank you for the city of Montgomery. We're really excited about this partnership. We couldn't do it without the city and their relationship.
RPSM is committed to creating a highly motivated team for producing top commodities and top re-engineered fuel feedstock, while at the same time providing a future of the future of recycling for the city of Montgomery. So here's to the future of being environmentally friendly, and we thank you so much for this opportunity.
We talked to over 30 groups, really from all over the world, and the overwhelming majority of them would come in and say, this is a beautiful facility, and if you could just give us an additional $1 to $2 million a year, we think we can make it work. Well, Repower South is one of the very few that said, this is a great facility, we've got a new idea. We want to have our primary issue be the extraction of fuel, also handle commodities, and we can make this work. We can make it work with zero additional support from the city. And that was our #1 priority. Get back in recycling, no additional cost. And oh, by the way, there's some real additional savings down the road from not having to build these $2.8 to $3 million cells at the landfill.
The clock underneath the podium here is really to demonstrate that with this partnership, we are in effect extending the life of our landfill upwards of 75 years, okay? So, you know, that's multi-generational.
The longer we can delay building those cells, the more money we have to fight crime and pave streets and fight fires and that sort of thing. So it really is a win-win.
Because when we go to homeowners association meetings across the city, all of our council members continue to hear, when are you going to recycle? What you going to do about recycling? You start recycling. But now we can go back this week and say we're back in the business.
We've improved the process to pull cleaner recyclables out of the waste stream. And with what can't be recycled, we'll take about 35% that can be recycled. About 25% will go to a fuel. It's unique to Repower South.
We're 100% participation, but we're 100% participation if you are a sanitation customer currently. So if you have the green can at your home, you will be participating in this process and you will be recycling.
We've got a new Clean City Commission concept. We've got a new neighborhood bonds concept with new leadership. all of this is part and parcel of making our neighborhoods a better place. When we get the 22,000 LED lights in place over the next 12, 16 months, our neighborhoods are going to be safer, they're going to be more beautiful, more walkable. So we're excited about the fact that this does speak to the effort to make Montgomery that city that we're all proud to call home. There's one additional scenario. I've heard from some of our military friends who don't really believe you're recycling if you put it in the green can. They don't have a concept of it being separated at a recycling facility. And some of those, and some of the millennials want to recycle, separate at their home. And so we're working, Chris Conway and his people are working on a bin that will be outside the fence line at the recycling facility that people, if they really want to put it in a green can or, in an orange bag or a box or whatever, that they feel like they're separating in the house, they'll be able to drop that recyclable right there and we can pick it up and go into the recycling facility. So two great new additions to what makes Montgomery a smart city, what makes Montgomery the great city that we're trying to be. So I want to share that with you, Mr. President. Thank you so much.
Little point of clarification. Somebody left their phone in the work session area for the council a while ago. So if you're missing your telephone, I've got it. Okay. Madam Clerk, first item.
Mr. President, item 1, ordinance adopting regulations regarding the registration and maintenance of vacant buildings and enforcement procedures and penalties.
I think in our work session, we decided to carry that over 2 weeks and there'll be discussion.
Item 2, resolution appointing Larry Sasser as municipal judge.
Need a motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Need a motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
So should we make this clear that this is...
Excuse me. Judge, did you abstain? Yes. It's going to be 8 with 1 abstention.
I think it doesn't say it in the resolution, but this is a part-time municipal judge. And there will be another one put forth within the next few months. It does say part-time. Oh, does it say part-time?
It says part-time.
If you read the whole resolution.
I didn't read it.
May I clarify something for the
Mr.
people?
Bell.
You know, as a lawyer, I'm down before the municipal court quite often, and I just think it would be inappropriate for me to vote for or against. So that's why I always abstain when judges come before. Not that I have something against them or not that I have something for them. I just think it would be inappropriate.
Okay, very good.
It gives the appearance of impropriety.
Next item.
Item 3, application for a taxi cab company doing business as Tony's Transportation Service, 540 East Patton Avenue.
Representative Tony's Transportation Service, please. Yes, sir, come forward. Your name for the record, sir?
Antonio Young.
Mr. Young. Anybody got a question, Mr. Young?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay, we don't. Okay. What will you be doing with your transportation service?
Providing affordable taxi service to the public of Montgomery.
Okay.
And I also, hopefully in the near future, not necessarily hire, but I do plan on renting my vehicles to people that want to earn income and just try to make my name a household name to know that when they call my number, they're guaranteed a ride.
Okay, very good. Anybody got any question? Need a motion to suspend the rules?
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Good luck with your business, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Item 4, application for an alternative transportation service doing business as city-to-city transportation, 3472 Wetumpka Highway.
Representative City Transportation Incorporated, please. Yes, sir. Your name for the record, sir?
My name is Benoit Kabayiza.
Very good.
Yes, I'm representing Placide de Saint-Gimana.
Okay. Anybody got any questions, sir, from council?
What is the alternate transportation?
It's non-emergency medical transportation.
Got that. Anybody else? Need a motion to suspend the rules?
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to
Adopt. All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is
Good luck with your
adopted.
business, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Item 5, resolution appointing Corey Johnson to the Board of Adjustment.
Mr. Green,
Move to suspend the rules.
on
The rest of the agenda.
rest of the
This and the
agenda.
rest of the agenda.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Resolution reappointing Joe Holly to the Industrial Development Board.
Need a motion to adopt.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 7, resolution reappointing QB Ray Hayes to the Parks and Recreation Board.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 8, pursuant to Section 1153B1 Code of Alabama, authorization of demolition of an unsafe structure at the listed locations.
Need a motion to uphold.
Move to uphold.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Item 9, resolution designating nuisance abatement agent.
Need a motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 10, resolution assessing the cost of abatement of unsafe structures at various locations.
Need a motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 11, resolution declaring, authorizing immediate abatement and assessing cost of abatement of public nuisances on various lots.
Motion to
Carlos, you got something for us, Lynn? You got some pictures for us here tonight?
Brandon's not here tonight.
Yeah, I understand. You still got your numbers up here.
Yes, the nuisance complaint year-to-date, 2,602. Violations year-to-date, 2,088. We're asking for approval of 164 properties tonight, and they're on your screen.
You see some names you might recognize there. News, y'all be looking at them. You got television, news people here, y'all look at them. These people in charge of our blight, they're making our city ugly.
State of Alabama.
State of Alabama, there you go.
Yeah, they're working. Waterworks?
Waterworks. There's 50 of these that are on this list tonight that have already complied.
Okay, 164 tonight. A
Motion
lot of inspections.
Yes, sir.
Very good, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Motion to
Need a
adopt.
motion. All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Okay, Madam Clerk, would you give us the one on the FCs and the wireless facilities?
Resolution in support of protecting local control over public streets and public assets, and call on Congress to reaffirm such local control by reversing recent FCC actions related to wireless facilities.
Need a motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
All right, next one.
We have an ordinance amending Section 18-112, discharging firearms.
Need a motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Ordinance is
President.
adopted.
Yes, sir.
If I may,
Mayor?
just for the people here in the council and also those at home, discharging firearm is a misdemeanor today. After our celebratory gunfire issues on New Year's Eve, we talked about some of the things that our police department is going to do. But in addition to that, we wanted to call it out in the ordinance itself, and we wanted to make the penalty fairly severe. And these penalties that you've just approved range from a small amount of money, $100, but 7 days imprisonment, up to a maximum of 6 months imprisonment. And hopefully that, with roving patrols that we will have during these celebratory times and other times that we are out looking for people just deciding they want to fire their guns off, this hopefully will be a deterrent. And I just want to make sure that the public knows that we are serious. We will put you in jail. And in addition to that, with this new technology and all the cameras that we have, the likelihood of us being able to find you goes up exponentially. We cannot make the arrest predicated on seeing you because it's a misdemeanor. If it was a felony, we could. But at the same time, we'll know who you are, we'll know where you are, we'll come knock on your door. You may have some warrants against you, but we'll at least catalog who's doing it. And
Mayor, did we talk about how many cameras we're monitoring now with our eagle eye?
it would be in the 30,000 range. We know we got 10 or 12,000 just in our schools.
Citizens need to understand these cameras are out there working.
It's all the cameras that would be DOT cameras, all the cameras that we have controlling our signalization, all the cameras that we would have our own security around. It would be any camera that is in the public domain. In private business, we'll be in private residence, we'll be in a position to sign up and can be a part of our network. We only do the outside, the exterior, not the interior perimeter. It is going to be a force multiplier.
How long is this data stored? Is it stored in a server and say maybe 30 days in case something happens and you not happen to be looking at that camera at that time? Can we go back and say, okay, this happened 2 days ago and look at that camera?
I wish I could answer the question. Does any of our police organization have that answer?
I can't.
Okay.
It depends upon what happens at the origination point. Now, there are certain ones that would be there for a longer period of time. We'll get you a better answer to that question.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to know how it looked. And do we have to have all those cameras up, or do we simply, since they've already signed up, we don't have to really request it? We can just go in and download it ourselves at that time.
Well, we don't even download it. We'll have it in real time, and yes, we would be able to download it from the Star Center. Yes.
We did pass this. Did we already vote?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Mr. General, can I ask a quick question?
Yes, sir.
Mayor, do we have to have uniformed police officers watching these cameras? How does it?
That's to be determined. There is some conversation. We patterned this after Mobile. Mobile has been doing it a couple of years now. We've been down there a time or two. Our technology is a little more advanced than there. There are some bells and whistles that we haven't talked about tonight that are crime-fighting tools. But there is some conversation about having like a similar to a 911 call, something like that, a higher echelon technician, a non-sworn officer to be able to do that. But we just now getting this started, so we got to get a feel for this. We got to get a better understanding, and then we'll make that evaluation.
Thank you. I was just curious.
Okay. But it's a good question because we're now tying up a couple of police officers doing this.
They're IT guys.
Yeah, IT. Yeah,
Is it just the legality of it, Mayor?
No, we've run that rabbit. Mobile plowed the ground for us.
Okay.
The only legal issue we would love to be able to figure out at a state level, the misdemeanor side. We know on the felony side, if we see somebody doing a felony, we can make that arrest predicated on that. I don't know that that's been tested yet, but we're comfortable and confident that the felony side would prevail.
Okay. Well, you have a great attorney over there to test it on a misdemeanor if you want to.
Okay. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir. I've put before you contingency funds that the mayor has approved for District 1, $500 to Harvest Time Food Ministries for Faulkner elderly residents. For District 4, $2,000 to South Lawn Middle School, $200 to Kershaw YMCA, $750 to Hainville Road Community Center. And Mr. Mayor, I've gotten the following for District 1 in addition. He wants $1,000 to Mountain View Estates Neighborhood Association and $1,000 to Nat King Cole Society, and they're both on the list.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, I got 500 for Have a Heart for Joseph Bratton.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
District 1 will add one more thing, and that'll be $500 for Have a Heart for Joseph.
Okay. Anybody else?
Well, to the extent I have anything in the contingency fund, $500, and I think the people knows that. Could you explain that? What's that for, Mr. Jenwright?
Have a heart one?
Have a Heart is the.
Oh, no, not to have a heart. What are we doing for children?
We're raising money for a family to go with a disabled child to the Olympics, to the
child is
Special
actually
Olympics.
part of the Special Olympics.
And it's going to Dubai for the Olympics, and it's a very, very unusual thing. Very, very big reward for this young man. There's a senior at Jeff Davis High School.
$500 from
District 6.
District 6 or whatever I have left if I don't have 500.
Yes,
Anybody else?
Mr. President.
All right. Yes, sir. Mr. Larkin?
Mr. President, I have 500 for Have a Heart.
Okay.
And 1,000 to the Southern Youth Leadership Development Institute.
All right. Anybody else?
Southern Youth Development Institute,
Here we go.
$1,000. And one more, Mr. President. Montgomery Tuskegee Times Black History Awards Program, $300.
300. For, tell me again what it's for.
Montgomery Tuskegee Times
Yes, sir.
Awards Program.
Awards program.
Yes, ma'am. $300.
300. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
District 2, 1,500 to Madison Park Reunion Community Development Organization.
I'm sorry, which one?
Madison Park.
It's a reunion. It's on the list, yes, sir. Is that it?
Anybody else?
Yes.
Mr. Lee?
I need 2,000 to Lanier ROTC, 2,000 to Lifetime Resources, 500 to Have a Heart, 250 to Echo.
Councilman, what was the 250 for?
Echo.
Echo, okay.
Mr. Pruitt?
Mr. President, thank you very much. Lanier ROTC, $1,000. Lanier.
Just a second.
Okay.
Is that it?
No,
Okay.
sir.
Okay.
Lanier Baseball, $500.
Baseball, 500?
Yes, ma'am. And Have a Heart, 500.
500?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody else?
I do.
Brenda?
Audrey?
One more.
One more.
Larkin's
District
Pension,
2?
500 to the Have a Heart Foundation.
Okay. Got it? You got it, Brenda?
In District 4, I want to also 500 to the Have a Heart.
Anybody else?
Mr. Mayor,
All
you
right.
okay with these?
Need a motion to adopt?
Mr. Mayor, you okay with these?
Yes, I am, but what I wanted to make sure of on Have a Heart that we reference this is for Joseph
Yeah,
Bradley.
gotta go that way.
Yeah, we
Yes, sir.
reference
Make
that.
sure it goes the right direction.
And just so I've got the microphone, I just got a text from the chief. It says that, what did the chief say? Hang on a second. With the system we use, it's 30 days cloud retention.
30-day retention.
Yeah.
It's 30, they retain it for 30 days? What's the five?
I'm reading you, it says, with the system we use, it's 30 days cloud retention. As far as other people that opt in, it can be anywhere from just live streaming to years of storage. 30 days is the most common.
Okay.
Okay. Need a motion to adopt this?
Motion to approve.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous?
Anybody got anything else?
Mr. Jenwright.
Yes,
If Mr. Green would like for me to explain the computer stuff, stay with me afterwards and I'll help you out, Mr. Green.
I think, did I hear a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Meeting adjourned.